G'day everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my place. Today's a pretty rare sort of opportunity. It's one of very few times that my workshop is clean and tidy and in good order. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to make a cuppa. I suggest you do the same. And then we'll go for a little bit of a walk around. I'll show you my tooling, my setups, and a few different bits and pieces. Try and give you a few tips and pointers along the way. Otherwise, just give you a little bit of an introduction into my world. So yeah, go ahead, make yourself a cuppa, grab a pen and paper, because hopefully there'll be one or two things that, are noteworthy or you might be able to pick up on. And then with a bit of luck, you can drop a comment down below and hopefully I'll learn something too. I'll just finish off this cuppa. You may have noticed those pictures in the background too, so for anyone asks, yes, that is me in the mountaineering gear, and yes, I did take that photo of those big mountains. They're over in Eastern Europe. It was a fun trip. Another lifetime ago when I was a mountaineer, outdoorer, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We are here for knife making. Sugar. A couple of lumps of sugar, a bit of milk, because that's how I like it. Cheers. Okay, so first things first, obviously that's for the coffee station, important part of any workshop, and the kitchen. This was my photo booth. I think I'm currently planning on moving it. Used to be where the fridge is. Makes a perfect space, white walls. If you ever need a reflective space, pop a light above it and away you go. It's all current works in progress, or current finished stock actually. It's left over from the Melbourne show. Anyway, away we go. So I won't go straight into the workshop. This is a bit of an overflow workshop room. So works in progress kind of get laid out before they're finalised here. And there you go. Have a bit of a gaze. A few that have been underway for a little while. So yeah, that's just a nice clean soft bench to place any delicate parts. That's my old lighting setup that used to be where I just showed you in the old fridge cavity. This is where I'm now going to start taking photos. A little bit of a detail workbench where I do glue ups and fine work, putting clay on blades for hamons and things like that. Everything's kind of permanently set up these days. Glues, wood finishes, solvents. That little rack there is just how I glue up my knives, and everything for claying up blades for a hamon. Yeah, lovely clean warm space. It's winter now, so I usually have this room quite well heated as well, just to be able to cure glues and things like that. Just putting my coffee down in the background there. And here we go. So I've recently moved my hand sanding station into here as well. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is also set up for sharpening as well. There's a little sink bridge. Lights from both sides, movable, so I can adjust all the angles, and an array of sharpening stones. We'll come back in here because I'll show you how I do my hand sanding now as well. Boxes of timber everywhere. If you haven't got timber everywhere, are you a knife maker? That is slabs of timber. I've got the lights off because there's too much flickering. We'll see how we go. Here is my milling machine, Bridgeport. Lovely 70s machine out of England. We can see down there, that's a phase converter, so that plugs into 240 volt single phase, and that gives me 415 three phase. There's milling cutters and tools. Everything's kind of, if you need to reach and use it immediately, put it within arm's reach. So those tools are what I use to change tooling on my machine and keep it clean. So they're all within arm's reach. What else we got moving down the line? There's a little workbench there. That one's movable on wheels so that I can pop it out into the middle of the workshop whenever I need to, or pop it out of the way whenever I'm not using it. This one here is a new 35-ton hydraulic press, just currently having some wiring issues. So once that gets sorted up, I can do another video on the design. Here's my forging trolley. It has two forges, a solid aspirator forge and a ribbon burner forge, both actually aspirated, so no rollers. Run up a dual gas bottle manifold. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Tongue rack. Got a digital thermometer as well that I can use between both of them. I only ever light one at a time. That's why they're next to each other like that before anyone says anything about any hoses. That's forging right. And that makes a bit of space to come and have a look at the new mechanical hammer, spring hammer, power hammer, whatever you want to call it. 50-pound little giant clone. It's a Waratah. This thing is amazing. Currently only spinning at half speed. I do still need to do a little bit of work before I run it full and proper. There's some bolts I want to replace and some things like that, just because it is such an old machine. When I have it hitting it full hard, I want to make sure it's in good order. There we go. There's a nice big 6-inch blacksmith vise as well. And a BSL anvil. I rate it. I want to get another bigger one, the Knifemaker's anvil. This one's the 45 kilo, 100 pound. Sweet, I'll pop that forging trolley out of the way. I think this one's pretty cool. It's got a side door as well as 2 front and back rear doors. And that's the ribbon burner there. And you may have noticed there's a fire extinguisher under it. If you're using fire in the workshop or making sparks, have fire extinguisher within arm's reach. It's that simple, people. A little weight at the bottom. Alrighty, and this is my woodworking bench. So we can see there, got a drop saw in the middle level with the table so that I can cut long lengths. And this one here is a table saw, which is door slides, so it'll slide out and then I can use it. It's a bit jammed up. It works properly in the cold round. You get the idea. Another little slide out table over here as well. Economise space wherever you can, folks. It's pretty limited, so I've just made as much as I can with what I've got. And we can see it's a bunch of storage up above. I like to keep my PPE really handy. Should be right where you use it most and very easy to use. There's another little shelf, just easy access to works in progress. I basically do all my cutting here. It's near the door, fresh air. I can put a fan on, that sort of jazz. Where to next? Grinding room. A little clamp rack there. If anyone ever needs an idea for a clamp rack, just bolt a bit of tube to the timber. Keep everything as simple as possible. Yeah, so this is my little grinding room, I guess you'd call it. Got the buffer as we go. We don't talk about the belts. We don't ask questions about the belts. Yeah. There's my tool rack for my belt grinder. So that's just a board with a false board behind it, about a 60 or 70 mil cavity. I just drill 19 mil holes because they're all 19 mil spigots. And they all just slide straight on. That's pretty good. So that works with everything that's not on a tool arm. Well, I guess the small wheels are there. Longer ones, I've just got a little shelf up here where my longer tools go. And works in progress. Blades. There's a few more there as well. Probably a couple more there as well. Whoa. Sorry about the shakiness. Probably shouldn't have made that extra coffee. That's my disc grinder. Super rudimentary, but it can be flipped. Oh, there we go, another blade. I've just got this little angle plate. It's just a plate with a 45. And then in the bench, I've got another plate with another 45. So it can sit flat and lock in. We can spin it. And it can hang. Now that way I can use it flat or vertical. Controls just up there. Belt grinder, very self-explanatory. As much light as possible. I'm never satisfied with the amount of light. Set up for wood mode at the moment. To change, I'll just take the cover off the water. Now it's set up for metal mode. Yeah, 2x72, 84 engineering. This thing runs like a dream. Yeah, no complaints. What else? Wall down buffer, and it's a buffing machine. It does say bench grinder on it. Huh. Oh well. That's all the bits and pieces up there. Buffing wheels, etc., etc. What else we got? Oh, here's one for you. So here's my little hammer rack, tooling rack there, little workbench. There's another workbench over there. So these workbenches, as I said, just be economical with your space if you can, and try and be creative. Yeah, not just in your knife making, but in everything you do. So most of the time I'm only doing small work. Occasionally I need a big bench. Those ones come over here. You saw that other one I showed you before that had wheels, didn't you? Pop the locks off that. There we go. We got ourselves a big bench. You'll notice one other thing about this bench too. There's a power point. So that's just for running power tools. There's a wheel that comes out the back that I can plug in. And that one is predominantly set up for my router or trimmer. Pop that. Away we go. How did that happen, one might say? Well, trim routers have those little plastic sleeves. If you mount one to the underside of the bench, you can just slide it in place. Get yourself a table router. Yeah, not a permanent solution, but it's a solution on a limited budget. It puts me out of trouble for now, because I have a priority listing of tooling. There's one for you while I'm putting this away. If you're always wondering about what tool to buy next in your shop, I would strongly suggest write yourself a list of the tools that you want. Put them all on the same list and put a column next to it. Every time you wish you had that tool, because it would make that job easier or quicker, put a little check mark against it. And then at the end of a month or the end of 10 weeks or however long your saving period is, check which one has the most check marks. Buy that one first, because it will obviously save you the most time because you've reached for it the most. That's what I did anyway, and it's worked a dream so far. Here's my welding bay. Welder up there. I keep the leads high because, I don't know, as much off the ground as possible. Just easier to deal with as well, I find. Argon gas, it's a TIG welder. More storage. Laminated steel bars, a demi, and things like that. Oh, that's my demi down there and offcuts. That's all bought laminated steel, so not my steel. And raw steel stock. Plates, sheets, offcuts. Thanks, Dom. And a detail bench. This is where most of the action happens, I think. Well, that's what I tell myself. Sometimes that action is me sitting there staring into space. Sometimes that action is me getting jobs done. I'll just get that stand. So yeah, I'll run a Paragon Kill, 18 TB I think it is. It's good, it does everything that I need it to. I will be looking for a bigger one sooner or later. This one here is just my blade vise. This is one that I built myself. Just lets me pop a blade in, and then it will tilt, it'll spin, and it'll go up and down as well. That's my so-called surface plate. It's actually just a piece of toughened glass on top of a bench top. That bench top is as flat as I could get it, and yes, I have got a little bit of foam there, and that is just to level off any discrepancies in that flat bench top. And the rigidity of that glass, I'm confident, remains flat within reason. Look, it's not a true surface plate. I'm not making folders yet, so I don't really need one. Yeah. More works in progress. Sorry about the light flickering. Tools, everything essential that's just easy to reach. Random stuff. Keep your sandpaper handy, folks. This is kind of like the go-to for information for knife engineering. I recommend that in most all knife making workshops. Bits and pieces. Oh look, another work in progress. Surprise, surprise. I don't know, I'm just showing you around stuff now really. Oh, here, hand sanding. So this is my old station. I still do use it actually, just at different times. It's good, it's comfortable. I can sit at the chair. I advocate for multiple work positions throughout the day. Keep your body healthy, folks. So just clamp your blade in, do your hand sanding, and then there is a knob along the bottom that I can loosen up the jig, turn it sideways, and then I can sand at 45. This way I'm always square to my bench, my body is in a good posture. My work position remains the same, but I change the work. So yeah, your body position in your workshop is pretty key, folks. Look after yourself. I've said that a few times, but I advocate it. What I'll do now is I'll take this off and I'll show you what I mean. So it's just a little screw knob and a bit of 8mm thread there, and that just clamps up against the bench and keeps it in those locked positions. Now what we can do is we'll go back into that other room. So I've recently moved to the same jig. Just in here. Where am I? What am I doing? Clearly I know what I'm doing, hey? There we go. Away we go. Your blade. So the reason I've moved here, fill that with water, and when you flood it with water and dip the sandpaper, more water, better. I've yet again halved my hand sanding time. 15 minutes aside per grip probably. I also do my stone sharpening in here as well, trying to keep it all in one spot. It also means that all of my stone sharpening or hand sanding is all now done at the same height, and that's a standard height, whether I'm in my kitchen bench, in this bench, or at another person's house. For me that's key. It keeps the strong muscle memory and keeps my muscles, I guess, regularly exercised, because I am doing it quite a bit in full time. It's always in a different position there. It's good because it's different. You're working your whole body, but detailed and fine work, repetition at task, I feel increases your ability to be precise. First aid kit, folks. If you haven't got a comprehensive first aid kit, get one. This is probably a bit excessive because I used to be a wilderness first aider. Although you will need a good trauma kit. Anticipate what accidents might occur and plan and prepare for them. I keep it next to the sink because if I end up with a big gash, I will need to be able to immediately wash it and treat it. We didn't see this one before, did we? 3-phase high-speed drill. You've noticed a couple of wall-down tools. I think they are great. I do love my old machinery. I'm starting to build a bit of a collection. Yeah, they're just... Old tools are heavier. Heavier tools are more stable. More stable tools are more precise. And you know, well, if you're here, you've probably seen the work that I do, and it's quite a lot about precision. Yeah, I think that's about it. Probably a bit of a blubber. More storage down underneath there as well. That's kind of the gist of it. Sorry if I've been a bit too fast-paced with my talking. It's my first video. I'm sure I'll get a little bit of feedback down in the comments if you're so kind. And then, yeah, maybe we'll look at doing a few more videos if you're interested. If you are, just let me know of things you might want to see, whether you want any detailed notes, you know, detailed mini tour of a specific area. If you want to see me using some of the tooling, making certain parts or whatever, again, let me know. Easiest way to let me know if that's what you'd like to see more of is the old like and subscribe, because that's the easiest way to count interest, as well as just drop some comments down below and actually let me know, because direct feedback is always appreciated too. And yeah, we'll have another look through here just in case you need to have another glance for some inspiration. I didn't even drink that coffee, did I? Maybe I'll go and enjoy some sunshine and do that now. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch up with you next time.